Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Bumper here, back today with a new video. Okay, so it's coming towards the end of the year now, so we're going to be getting a lot of the top 10, top 20 lists of various things. I'm planning on doing a few different lists, but the first one I'm going to start off with is the 20 best horror films of 2022. Okay, originally I was going to do my general top 10 movies of 2022. And then I thought there's so many spaces reserved on that list before I even start, like Top Gun Maverick, The Northman. I just thought it's going to be a list of films that everybody's sick to death of hearing about. So I thought if I go with horror instead, if I stretch it to 20, then maybe we can cover one or two films that you might not have seen. And, you can take my glowing recommendation and go and check them out. All right then, so I got my list here, so apologies if I keep looking down, but my memory's not what it used to be. So we'll go straight in then. In at number 20 is the Scott Derrickson directed, Ethan Hawke starring The Black Phone. Okay, so The Black Phone is a supernatural thriller set in the 80s. It's got a bit of a Stephen King vibe to it. It's about a boy who gets kidnapped by the Grabber, played by Ethan Hawke, and there's a few supernatural elements where the kid's locked in the basement and he starts communicating on this black phone. All right, so it's in at number 20. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I was a little bit disappointed, I got to be honest. But then on a second viewing, I did get the enjoyment out of it that a lot of people did the first time round. I only give it a 3 out of 5, so I'm not getting too... I'm not going to wax too lyrical over it. But number 20, that's The Black Phone. Then in at number 19... we have a fairly new movie, probably the newest movie on this list, directed by one of my favourite horror directors, Joe Begos, and it's very fitting for the time of year, and that is Christmas Bloody Christmas. Okay, so Christmas Bloody Christmas is a sort of 70s sleazy sex and violence tale. It's got if you know Joe Begos's work from previous movies, then he's got that sort of John Carpenter vibe anyway. And what he does, he's a bit like Rob Zombie, but he manages to nail sleazy people in a way that you still like them and root for them, unlike Rob Zombie, who just gives you complete arseholes as characters. So yeah, he does a good balance in that, Joe Begos, and this film is really good. It's about a mechanical store Santa that comes alive and wreaks havoc on this little town, going around killing everyone. A few gripes with it. The robot does move in a way that makes it almost human. It may as well just be a man in a suit, really. I don't think any robot could be quite as technologically advanced as this one. But that doesn't detract from it. It's a really good film. It's got that lovely 70s sort of grindhouse feel with the heavy grain and everything. So yeah, it's directed by Joe Begos. It's on Shudder, and that's Christmas Bloody Christmas. Okay, number 18 then. This film was out a bit earlier in the year. It was well looked forward to by the horror community. That's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 reboot. Okay, so this went straight to Netflix. It didn't have anybody in the cast who was standout. What it did do is what a lot of these modern takes do is it forgot about all the sequels after the first one and tried to give us a direct sequel. They also tried to do the usual and bring in old cast members from the original to sort of give it that connection and to sort of bring old fans and new fans in together. It mostly worked. The winning formula with this film is the violence, which is unlike the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre because there's not a great lot of blood in that movie. But this one, yeah, it's really over the top. There's a wicked kill in a bus where he breaks the guy's arm and sort of stabs him in the neck with the bone. And yeah, there's some wicked chainsaw kills. There's a scene on a bus which seemed a little bit out of place when you saw it on the trailer, but worked out in the context of the film. So it was only over 70 odd minutes, so it didn't outstay its welcome, and it just did what it did. It did what it said on the tin. So yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre at number 18. All right then, and then at number 17 on Bumper's Top 20 is another streaming movie straight to Netflix. This starred Sebastian Stan, who's better known for playing the Winter Soldier. This was called Fresh. Okay, so this was sort of like one of them horror films, similar in the sense to Barbarian, where you didn't want to talk about it too much if you'd seen it. You didn't want to give away any of the plot because you don't really know where it's going. So it's about a guy who seems like really nice and charming. He meets this woman who feels the same as the viewer does, and they hit it off, but then, he's got some skeletons in his closet. So, yeah, it's pretty original, pretty good. I remember enjoying it. Long time since I've seen it now, but I only watched it the once. So, number 17, that's Fresh. Okay, then in at number 16 is another take on an old movie or another franchise adder to what's Owen. Excuse me, I'm full up with a cold lately. Sorry, I had to get my cough on then. Okay, so where are we to then? We're in at number 16 then. Like I said, it's another franchise movie, Scream 5. Okay, so Scream 5 boasted a really good cast. Jenna Ortega, who seems to be killing it at the moment. Obviously, the return of all the older cast. Yeah, it was really good, I thought. Scream 5. New directors, obviously. Brutal kills. Lacked a little bit of that meta humour of the previous ones. But yeah, I still really enjoyed it. So, in at number 16, wicked movie. Can't wait for part 6, Scream 5. Alright then, so that's the first 5. Now we're down into number 15. Alright, so another streaming movie. So streaming movies haven't been as bad as we thought this year by the looks of things. You know, we all diss them, but yeah, they brought us some good stuff. So number 15 is Prey. So once again, another movie in a franchise, an ongoing franchise, the Predator franchise this time. Yeah, and this was really good, okay? This had really good word of mouth as well. A lot of people saying it's the best Predator film since the first one. I'm somewhere in between. I do like the second one as well. But yeah, it was really good setting. My only issue with it was a little bit over stylized. I never really felt like I was watching something from that time period. It always just felt like people acting. But, you know, apart from that, you know, apart from the real polish look, it was a good film. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So number 15, Prey. All right, then number 14. Okay, this is a found footage movie. I'm not sure if this had a wide release yet, so not everybody might have seen this one, but if you've got a chance, then check it out. It's from the director of Host, and it's called Dashcam. Okay, so this movie follows this crazy American girl. She like just completely randomly gets a flight over to the UK, and she goes knocking this guy's door she used to kick about with in a band or whatever. And this guy's like going misses and he's all quiet. She turns up at his age 1 o'clock in the morning, like nicks his car because he don't want to go out with her anyway. Like it's just all gets a bit weird, and she ends up going on this mad tour de force around London or whatever in this stolen car, and yeah, all sorts of crazy shit happens. So yeah, in at number 14, really good one, Dashcam. Okay, then number 13. Okay, so number 13 on the list, struggling to find it now. What have we done with that one? All right, number 13 then, another streaming movie. I can't believe it. There's so many streaming movies, and that's VHS 99. Okay, he never left the mark of VHS 1984. Left when that came out last year. That was absolutely amazing. That was mind-blowing stuff. But this one was just sort of towed the line. There was a couple of good shorts, a couple of not good shorts. The standout one being the dungeon one. I can't think what it was called now. The 90s game show one. Really good. So yeah, a little bit by the numbers. Didn't have a great wraparound story like some of the other VHSs, but good enough to come in the top 20. So in at number 13, VHS 99. All right, then in at number 12 is another remake, reboot, another streaming movie. It is Hellraiser. Okay, so Hellraiser is directed by Simon Bruckner, I think his name is. Same guy who done The Lighthouse. And at first I didn't enjoy it. I watched it at my friend's house and I was picking too many holes in it about the Cenobites and the setup and the lack of eroticism. But then I watched it on a second viewing and I actually enjoyed it. It was a little bit overlong, but the special effects were great, the acting was great. Yeah, I just thought the story was really good. So I'm looking forward to see if they do any more with it now. So in at number 12, that was Hellraiser. All right, then we're nearly at the top 10 now. So number 11, another streaming movie, another Shudder movie, a little bit similar to Dashcam with the found footage method, and this is called Deadstream. Okay, so this is one you really need to check out, especially if you like found footage. It's a sort of haunted house found footage movie, similar setup to a lot of found footage movies, you know, with a skeptic in a haunted house. But yeah, this one's really good. This one's got some humour to it as well. It's got a little bit of a Peter Jackson 90s frighteners kind of element to it with the ghosts and the apparitions. Yeah, it's really good. It's well worth checking out. So in at number 11, Deadstream. All right then, so now we're in to the top 10. So these are the, well, in Bumper's opinions, these are the horror movies that are up there for 2022. So number 10, we got the Alex Garland directed movie Men. Okay, so Men didn't hit home with everybody. I know a lot of people like Alex Garland, and Ex Machina is an amazing film, and Annihilation is an amazing film. So, you know, this movie was always going to be up on a pedestal anyway, and it wasn't quite as good as the other two, I'll admit that, but I really liked it. Jessie Buckley was great in it. The weird-ass Greg Kinnear people were just absolutely freaky as, and there's some brilliant violence in the end with the Hangus cut all down here, and yeah, it's just balls to the wall, crazy at the end, which is my sort of horror film. So yeah, in at number 10, Men. Okay, then in at number 9, okay, a lot of people might not have heard of this film, but it had to make the list. It's filmed in Wales, so the motherland, and it's a brilliant horror film. It's called The Feast. This is really worth checking out. It's a slow burner about a family who are having a big get together, and they hire a sort of chef in, a girl, to come and sort out all the food and everything. And yeah, it's just all, she's just really mysterious, and her story kind of unfolds as the movie unfolds, and then the ending is just bonkers again. So I really urge you to check it out. I think you can buy it now for $12.99 in HMV. It might even be cheaper. So it's called The Feast. Okay, then in at number 8, okay, I'll give you a clue. There he is. All right, Terrifier 2. So Terrifier 2, great film. Anybody who wasn't already a fan of Art the Clown is now on board with it. I imagine they sold more copies of All Hallows Eve and Terrifier 1 when Terrifier 2 came out than they did before. So yeah, it's really done the franchise a world of good. A really good film, 2.5 hour running time. So people were a bit sceptical, but it flew by. Some of the acting was a bit dodgy, but for anyone who loves 70s grindhouse exploitation movies, they know that dodgy acting comes as part of the territory. But the practical effects are just insane. I mean, if it was a list based on practical effects alone, this movie would be number 1 by a long way. But all in all, fantastic movie, really enjoyed it. So number 8, Terrifier 2. And then at number 7, okay, a fairly new movie. Another one that had mixed reviews, but one that I thought was really great and really took me by surprise. I'll give you another clue for this one. You got it, Smile. So Smile is kind of like one of these American horror movies that riffs on Japanese horror. I don't think it's based on a Japanese horror, but it's one of these ones, you know, where you've got to solve the mystery before you lose your life, you know. And you've only got a certain amount of time to do it, and as you delve further into it, you know, the more reveals. It is a bit like The Ring, I've got to be honest, but it's to do with a smile instead of a cursed tape. So yeah, really good. Kyle Garner's in it, I think that's how you say his surname. He was in the Elm Street remake, which we won't spend too much time on, but he's a really good actor. I liked him in this. So yeah, so in at number 7, really worth checking out for a modern day horror, Smile. All right, then in at number 6, we've got a bit of a surprise with this one. Not a lot of people might not have seen this, but I really enjoyed it. It really took me by surprise, and that is Bull. Okay, so Bull stars Neil Maskell. It's a British horror revenge fantasy. Think The Crow, but uber violent, and you might be there. So yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Neil Maskell's character is brutally murdered, or so you think, by a gang of thugs. And then, you know, he comes back to seek his revenge. You know, did he survive, or is he a tormented soul that can't rest until he gets the revenge like The Crow? You're never really quite sure, but it's just a really good film, well worth watching. So that's number 6, that's Bull. Okay, so now we're into the last 5, Bumper's top 5 of the year. So some bangers in here. So straight in at number 5 is the South Korean extreme horror flick, The Sadness. Okay, so I think a lot of people who had this one on their radar. It was a lot of word of mouth to this one leading up to it. I was waiting for about a year because it had premiered in a film festival 12 months before. So I was really on tenterhooks waiting for it. I managed to get the German 4K as soon as it came out. Yeah, and it was a really good movie, really extreme. Didn't push the envelope as much as I thought. But a lot of the extreme scenes in it, I had actually seen in other extreme horror movies. So it didn't do a lot new for me in the end, but I really enjoyed it. It was really good. So number 5, The Sadness. Then in at number 4, okay, new to Disney Plus. I think everyone's seen this movie now. Wicked word of mouth, wicked buzz around it, wicked twist in the movie, and that's Barbarian. Okay, so this is one of those movies where you can't talk too much about it without spoiling it, but you won't really see where it's going. You'll think it's going one way, then it will go another way. I didn't think the twist was as original as some people made out. I mean, it does have hints of other movies mixed in with it, but it does it really well. It's a really good film, a really good time, and you know, it's 10 times better than a lot of crap you're going to find on streaming services. So that's Barbarian. All right then, so in at number 3. Number 3 then, quite possibly my favourite modern movie director next to James Wan and Guillermo del Toro is Ty West. So he's come back after like a 10-year hiatus of making great movies. I mean, his catalogue leading up to X is amazing, with like The Innkeepers and The House of the Devil and The Sacrament. I think he moved into a bit of TV work, or maybe he just had a break, I'm not sure, but he's come back with a plum, and X was just amazing. His proper gross out moments, yeah, really messed up. So for me, 5 out of 5 movie. So straight in at number 3, the Ty West directed X. So if something as good as X is at number 3, at number 2 it could only be its companion piece, and that is Pearl. Alright, so I thought Pearl was just a bit slightly better than X because I'm really into character studies and people-driven narratives. So I found a bit more to take from the movie, and it goes batshit crazy at the end as well. The violence does match X towards the end. So yeah, I thought Pearl was slightly better. I can't wait for Maxine, but you know, as a trilogy, it's just going to be a 5 out of 5 trilogy for me. So number 2, Ty West, and that's Pearl. Then in at number 1, Bumper's number 1 horror movie of the year, criminally underseen. You've got to watch it. It's amazing, and it's called Resurrection. Okay, so this has got a great British cast with Tim Roth and Rebecca Hall. It's just nuts. I can't explain the synopsis to this film. It's about a woman who's grieving the death of her child, and the death of the child, in her mind, the cause was the husband cooking the baby in the oven and eating it, and she still thinks the husband has got his baby inside him. It's nuts. The end, you've never seen a birthing scene in a movie like the end of this film. So, amazing film. You don't know where it's going. Amazingly acted, amazingly messed up. Plays it so straight-laced for the craziness that's going on. You know, it really gets you on board. So in at number 1, Bumper's horror movie of 2022. Make sure you check it out. That's Resurrection. All right, and that's it then. So as I said at the start, I'll be doing some more top 10, top 20s. Next, I'm probably going to do my favourite top 10 or 20 for physical media releases of the year. I was going to say 4K physical media, but any physical media really. So top 10 or top 20 of that. And then we might have a little look at some top 10 cover arts, things like that. I like movie posters and all the different artworks you've got in the boxes, and also maybe we'll give some props where it's due on that to the artist. All right then, so thanks for watching. I've been Bumper, and I'll catch you soon.